2017 is an important year for Kenya. Kenya is having a national election. They're choosing their president, and their president's going to determine the course of the economy and politics in their country. Presidents have typically more authority in Kenya and more leeway and more autonomy than political leaders, say, in the US or many European countries. 10 years ago, in 2007, during a national presidential election, there was ethnic violence. There was a contested election. The exit polls showed that one candidate had clearly won the election, but the incumbent president didn't step down. And in order to maintain power, used violence really to intimidate the opposition and stay in power. This violence is a very decentralized sort of violence. There's a lot of ethnic violence targeting members of particular ethnic groups. So for instance, in the Rift Valley province of Kenya, members of the Kalenjin ethnic group and Kikuyu ethnic group, neighbors, killed each other, fought each other, drove their neighbors out of their homes. In the part of Western Kenya where I've worked, in Busia, Kenya, members of ethnic minorities that were seen as sympathetic to the president who had stolen the election were driven from their homes, their shops were burned. It was a very dangerous time. A lot of people's lives were ruined, and there's a fear that the same thing could happen again in 2017. There's a crossroads for democracy in Africa. The momentum for democratization has really waned. Over a couple of decades, all the trends were positive. More countries were having multi-party elections. But after the Great Recession and the financial crisis of 2008 and 2009 and the fall in commodity prices, African societies are much less stable than they were 5 or 6 years ago. They're much more economically vulnerable. And a lot of political leaders fear that holding a free and fair election will mean that they're going to lose power given these difficult economic times. And as a result, many of them have chosen to backtrack from their support for democracy. And that's really a widespread issue across, we can think of 7 or 8 countries that have seen a clear reversal just in the last few years.